Well, there's a new appeal from hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team is seeking his immediate release from federal prison, calling his 50-month sentence on charges of transportation for prostitution excessive. CB Cotton has the details live from our New York newsroom. Good to see you, CB.
Hey, Lydia. Well, once one of the most powerful names in hip hop, Sean Diddy Combs is now behind bars at that federal facility in Fort Dix, New Jersey. But his legal team says he should have never been sent there for this long. So on Tuesday, in an 84-page filing, Combs' attorneys asked a New York federal appeals court to immediately release Combs and send the case back for a new sentencing or grant him an acquittal. In July, a jury found Combs guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution and acquitted him of the most serious charges, racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. In the fall, the judge then sentenced Combs to a little more than 4 years behind bars, citing testimony from former girlfriends who said they felt pressured to participate in drug-fueled sex parties with male escorts called hotel nights or freak-offs. But the rapper's lawyers argue this sentence was punishment for crimes that the jury rejected. They wrote in the filing, quote, "He sits in prison today serving a 50-month sentence because the district judge acted as a 13th juror. The judge defied the jury's verdict and found Combs, quote, coerced, exploited, and forced his girlfriends to have sex and led a criminal conspiracy," end quote. Throughout the appeal, Combs' attorneys go on to describe the case as an unfair prosecution of consensual sex between adults. We're monitoring to see whether prosecutors file a reply to these arguments from Combs' defense team, but we know during the trial that prosecutors repeatedly accused the former hip-hop mogul of trying to minimize his actions. For now, Combs remains in prison with a projected release date for early 2028. Lydia.
CB, I'd be willing to bet those prosecutors are going to start working on the reply just as soon as this holiday's over, if they haven't already. Yeah. Great to see you, CB. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I don't think Diddy definitely, got a shot with that, because I think they feel like Diddy got off in the situation. I really feel like they feel like he got off. So for them to, give him that appeal and grant it, it would be like a slap in the face all way. And Diddy's lawyers, they good and they going to war for him. But people got to understand, the hand of one is the hand of all. They all together, man. Yeah, they all together. And they feel like Diddy got to pay for something. They mad they didn't get a guilty verdict on the RICO, racketeering. And I don't feel like, really though, they should have got the verdict on the racketeering. I don't feel like that. But they not going to allow Diddy to, get free on that. Nah. I think they're going to sit him down for a little while longer, because it's too early. He might get out a little earlier than he should, but I don't think they're going to let him go this early. Whereas though, if they do grant the appeal in the future, they're going to wait till some time go by. Same way like they did Bill Cosby. They made Bill sit for the whole 3-piece and then granted the appeal. So it could be some things that are wrong legally within the situation, but I don't think they're going to grant it that fast. I think, it's easy to get in these situations, but it's hard to get out. So, they'll drag it out because, the judges is all connected, man. They all connected. They'll drag it out, make a decision on it later. This one deny it. Then they got to send it to the Supreme Court and District Court. They got to, keep going higher and higher. So I don't see Diddy getting it that quick, you know. But one thing I can say about being locked up and fighting, you know, with the pills, it does give you like hope. So it like gives you things to look at. Whereas though, you know, you got an appeal and that might be 90 days to 6 months. So you looking at waiting to hear something back. So that's another 90 days, 6 months that went by. So, you know, it does help out with the time. I can say that, you know, when you appealing things and you in jail, even if you don't get it and you putting motions, modifications, all of those type things, it gives you something to look forward to so that you're able to get through the time while you're in there. So, you know, maybe that might help him through the time. And, you know, and I'm sure now with this situation here, he's seeing that he doesn't have the power that he thought he had. You know, people think because they get money, and we know Diddy got plenty of money, he's above the average person, right? Above a lot of people financially. He felt like he couldn't be touched. But these are the things that they show you, that just because you got the money, it doesn't make you above everything. But people are beefing with each other in the hoods and, you know, the rappers, but they still can't see, all right, they got Diddy. They can get anybody. You know, if they want to get you, you know, because, you know, when people got money, they start doing things. They think that I can do this and ain't nobody going to worry about it. If they want to get you, they can get you. It's their game. And then you got to go to war to fight yourself, fight for yourself to get out of it. You know, and don't nobody care. You know, out of sight, out of mind. You know, your loved ones care, but hey, man, the world continues to go on. You know, while you sit, life goes on. You got to deal with that. You know, I think at this point in life, you know, it's like, man, breaking the law now is crazy. You know, a lot of things that people would get away with back in the day, they're not getting away with it. It's too much technology, and it's, you know, you can't buy your way out of the situations like you used to. Money does not have the same value that it once had. No, not at all. You know, at one point in time, people could buy their way with the prosecutors, the judges. They done knocked enough of them off that they're not even considering, you know, taking it to let you get out the situation. So understanding that you can be held accountable is important. Diddy forgot that. Now they reminded him, you can be held accountable. And I know in your 50s to sit down and do some time, oh, you got to be feeling it. In your 50s, oh yeah, straight up. And you sleeping on a cold bunk, oh yeah, you got to be feeling it. It's different, you know. You go from living good in a king-size bed, feeling good, to a little rack with a celly. Oh yeah. That shit hit different. And don't nobody care. CO don't care, none of that. You might get some little perks from the CO that they want to give you. Might get some extra food or something. But nah, you lay down, it's real. Lock in. So it's like a lesson to the world that people should pay attention to. But I know a lot of people, you know, might not be paying attention to it. But the money doesn't give you the power to get away with things like people used to. You know, it doesn't give you that power. Straight up. Yeah, his lawyer just putting in motion to help the time go by. The motions be giving you something to look forward to. Yeah. But they not just about to let him go. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Did he cross the line with the wrong people? Most definitely. Yeah. Do the time. Don't let the time do you. Yeah. Do the time. Don't let the time do you. Yeah. But I definitely understand that part there about the emotions and, you know, modifications and, you know, looking towards things and appeals. You know, they give you something to look towards. All right, man, listen, I got this appeal. And even if it come back denied, you still looking towards it coming back. You know? Yeah. So, you know, but it lets you know, man, that money don't got that same value, man. It don't got that value. It ain't the same, you know. People gotta understand that. They smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me see here. It was a little clip here too that was here with the judge they was talking about. Let's see what it say right here. I want to see this with this judge. Hold on. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. What was they saying here about this judge?
CB, Lydia, thank you very much. For more on this, let's bring in trial attorney Kelly Hyman. Kelly, I want to start just by sort of resetting the stage and reminding our viewers what Diddy was actually found guilty of. So take a look. It was racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Sex trafficking, 2 counts, not guilty. But transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts, he was found guilty. Now, of course, there was damaging reputational evidence throughout the trial, including domestic violence and the tales about the freak-offs and all that. Is it true, in your view, what his lawyers are arguing, that the sentence of 4 years in prison was too much?
Does the punishment fit the crime? I think that's going to be key. So when we look at this case, we have to think about what exactly Diddy was found guilty of. He was found guilty of transportation across state lines in order to engage in prostitution. Now, the prosecution was asking for at least 11 years in prison. However, Diddy wanted him to be released right away. So when we look at the actual charges, we have to remember that Diddy now is serving 50 months in jail. And so a lot of people believe that that in fact is fair, while Diddy is arguing that that is in fact excessive.